Do subscribe to Ekeeda channel and press bell icon to get updates about latest engineering, HSC and IIT JEE main and advanced videos.
Hello students, today we are studying chapter plant-water relation and mineral nutrition. In that, we'll be studying topic osmosis, what is basically osmosis and the types of osmosis. Whenever you keep raisins in water, raisins take up water. That process is osmosis. Today, we'll be studying what is osmosis and how does it occur. Osmosis. When I say osmosis, the definition for osmosis is movement of water from lower concentration to higher concentration. Now, what is this concentration and what are these movements? Imagine a situation: you have taken a glass of water. In that glass of water, you have added some raisins, dried raisins in that. What will happen after some times? Obviously, after few hours of time, the raisins will uptake water. That process is osmosis. So how does that work? In osmosis, there are two concentrations, the lower concentration and the higher concentration. If you compare normal water and raisins, which one has higher concentration? Obviously the raisins, because raisins have more number of solute particles which are concentrated, whereas your water has more number of solvent particles. We all have studied in chemistry what is solute and what is solvent. Solute is nothing but something which is powdery or solid, and when I say solvent, anything like water, alcohol is a solvent in chemistry. So during osmosis, movement of water takes place from lower concentration, that is from water, to higher concentration, that is in raisins. And this process of osmosis requires few requirements. Now when you put raisins inside water, it will swell up after n number of time or few hours. During osmosis, a parameter which is much needed is semi-permeable membrane. What is the semi-permeable membrane? Whenever you take a raisin which has swollen or which has uptaken water, you can remove the covering of that raisin, and this covering is nothing but its semi-permeable membrane. So if I put almonds in water, is that diffusion? Yes, that will be diffusion. Movement of water anywhere, and when semi-permeable membrane is present, that process is called as osmosis. Even inside our cells, plant cells, osmosis takes place. Now in plant cells, there are two ways through which osmosis can take place. One is endosmosis and another is exosmosis. And these are the two types of osmosis. When I say endosmosis, endo means inside and osmosis is nothing but movement. When I say exosmosis, exo means outside and so what is this endosmosis and exosmosis? Whenever there is a movement of water inside, it is called as endosmosis, or movement of water inside a cell would be called as endosmosis. So when you put your raisins inside a glass full of water, that process is endosmosis. Now imagine a situation: you have taken a glass full of water consisting of salt. Basically you have made a salty water. In that you have put raisins. What will happen in that condition? Obviously water will not go inside the raisins, but it will happen opposite. Water from raisins will come outside and your raisins will become dried up. That process is exosmosis, that is movement of particles from inside a cell into the soil. So inside plants, depending upon the condition, exosmosis and endosmosis takes place. The two real life examples of endosmosis and exosmosis are: for endosmosis, it is raisins plus water kept for few hours, when raisins will swell up due to the intake of water, whereas exosmosis is salty water in which raisins are kept, and due to exosmosis, the water particles which are present inside the raisin will come out and the raisins will dry up. The definition for osmosis goes as it is the movement of water from lower concentration to higher concentration with the help of a semi-permeable membrane. And in plant cells, we know that the semi-permeable membrane is basically the plasma membrane, or you can say the cell membrane, which is semi-permeable. When I say semi-permeable, it means it allows the entry of certain molecules, whereas certain molecules do not have an entry into that cell. That is the meaning of semi-permeable. When I say exosmosis, exo means outside. It is one of the types of osmosis. When I say exosmosis, it is the movement of water from outside of the cell to inside of the cell. That's exosmosis. That is, water will move outside, which is present inside the cell. When you add resins to water, the movement of water, that's exosmosis. Endosmosis. When I say endo, it means inside. Osmosis which takes place inside. During endoosmosis, what happens is water is taken inside a cell. Whenever a plant has to carry water or minerals or nutrition during transpirational pull, cohesive forces, passive transport or active transport, endoosmosis takes place. Students, in this part of the chapter, we have studied the definition of osmosis. What basically osmosis is? We have studied a real life example of osmosis, that is resins and water. We have studied the types of osmosis. I hope you all are clear with the concept of osmosis. Thank you.